Hi, welcome to part two. We're going to strip down the radio. So it's always a good idea to take photos of things that you might later forget, or where to plug in the RF gain and stuff like that. So I've already taken photos of this sort of stuff. What I'm trying to concentrate on first is the power board. So we're going to remove the power board. Just going to remove all these little earth tags. A lot of these cans that you see here, like these ones have got screws on the top, the other ones you've got to physically desolder from underneath. And we've got some good equipment here with the Weller solder stations. Okay, that's one board disconnected. I'll take that out of the this tray later. And we need to get the power board out. So I'll just undo these. And this one here. So it's a good idea to try and keep the orientation of these cables, because it can be a bit of a nightmare when you put them back together, especially when you put the front cover on. They tend to pull and twist, and it's interesting to see these big thick chunky ribbons with all the shielding and everything going on, whereas on the new 77 and 55 radios they're using the normal flat ribbons. So there's quite a bit of difference in the new radios now. That should come up now. What you've got on the back of this, you're going to have disconnect the front panel before that comes out. So let's undo the front panel. Good thing about this is most of these screws are all the same anyway. Should do it. We've got a couple. And pull the knobs off as well. And the front panel should. We've got the front lights as well. And this one as well, which has got a nice tight spring on there. This is a really substantial piece of metal here. That's the quality of these radios, they really are nice. Alright, okay, that's loosened up from there. You've got two hidden behind here. These are clipped in. You've got to be very, very careful that you don't damage the casing when you're lifting this up, because it's so old. It's very, very brittle. Here we go. There's all these little clips in here. There you go. And it can be very brittle and they can easily break. There you go. As you can see at the back here, which I was showing you earlier, you can see the display here. You just lift these little side bits up, and you can disconnect the ribbon like that. So it's a good idea not to just pull the power board right out, otherwise you break that ribbon. So as careful as you can be, little things will break off. Unfortunately, that's just because of the plastics. They're so brittle over the years. They get very brittle, and they can crack very easy. There you go. That's the front panel off now as well. See all these little clips? They break very easy because but you can see the shielding inside is absolutely beautiful. It's all nice copper shielding inside. It's a pity this particular radio didn't have the backlit LCD display. That would just be brilliant. I did try to do it with the with LEDs in there, but it didn't work out too well. So we'll go back to the front, and as you can see, I was saying earlier, the ribbon cables, they do follow a route, so it's best just to take photos of everything, which I'll just do now. It's going to be a while since we put these back in. And there's your power board. So the chassis at the moment can just reside somewhere safe. And I found a few little bits rattling around inside when it got delivered to me, so try and glue all those broken bits back. And there we go, we got the main board. On my particular radio I had so many broken bits inside of plastic which I had to glue. I've been lying in its original box for 32 years from new. It didn't do so good. Right, there you go. all these cans have got bottom parts of them as well, so you've got to desolder all of those and pull off this copper tape very carefully. Yeah, it will tear because it's obviously just due to the age, but I'll take that off. We can start work. So I'll get the soldering iron fired up. And we can start doing some soldering. I may have to order some more capacitors. I'm not sure if I've got all of them. Got quite a few of them. These are the big ones that need to go on there. And this section here is supposed to have 4 big caps like that, right along here. So yeah, obviously they've just soldered one on there, which is not ideal. You should have 4 of those. Okay, first thing I want to do is remove this can here, because this is the DC to DC converter. use that tip, I'll use this one. Just bring you in a bit closer there. These Weller irons are really good. They really get the heat in there well. Get this one off now. Right, let's remove this shield. There you go. There you go. There's your DC to DC converter circuit in there. And there's a little transformer I was talking about. What happens, the board usually sits like that, and over the years the electrolyte leaks out. On my one, the electrolyte leaked out to this capacitor all around there, and when I went to do the dry joints on the transformer and clean all the contacts up, it just broke to pieces. And this is in very good condition, this one. Okay, I'm going to remove this capacitor here. What you're supposed to have are get 4 of them out. You're supposed to have 4 capacitors in there. That's what I was expecting to see when I took the lid off. It's just a rough mock-up. You're supposed to have 4 capacitors like that on the board. So you, so whoever's had that part have only replaced it with 1. Okay. Now under this can, you'll probably find another capacitor or 2 under there, and throughout the whole radio they're going to be cans like that. Yeah, and someone's put another electrolytic there rather than an SMD. This EEPROM here, you've got to be very careful, because if this EEPROM gets erased or damaged in any way, the radio is basically useless. All the firmware and software to that, I mean, obviously on the period of the time this radio was made, is in that EEPROM. I like to leave it in circuit. I don't have to take it out or touch it at all. It can be very sensitive. You've got to undo all of these as well to get the tops off. Alright then, let's get all the cans off and then we can start soldering all the capacitors. Well, thanks for watching part 2. I'll be doing part 3 soon, probably after the holidays now, and thanks for watching and happy Christmas to all of you, and thanks for subscribing.